Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Kyle from the Fantasy Phenom. I'm back to discuss a rather unfortunate night in DFS. As you can tell by the title, if there was a crying Jordan meme that I could place on this for you guys, and you guys could still read out the numbers, I would. I had Ryan Anderson everywhere, if that tells you anything. So that's that's point number one. Trevor Ariza got 16 points. James Harden didn't even get 40 points. What up, Tony? Oh, man. Rough night, man. Rough night. And what's crazy is, even with this 249 lineup right here, I only missed the cash line by 8 points. So, very low cash night. But, yeah. Picked a lot of the wrong guys tonight. I picked a lot of the guys on the wrong sides of blowouts. So, and you know what's crazy? Is I started the night with Ersan Ilyasova, Aaron Gordon, and Mo Harkless, right? And these are my like punt plays of the night per se, right? I'm really confident in all these guys right here. I'm like, damn, okay, I just want like 60, 70 points. These two get 70 points alone. And I knew Ilyasova would go off, and I was really high on Aaron Gordon. I knew he had a good matchup. I didn't expect that many points, so I was cool with, maybe 60. They got me 70. And then these games came. Well, specifically the Rocket game. That really killed me. Mike Conley did his thing. He almost hit projection. I'm okay with his game. Lou Williams balled out tonight. Jeff Teague, Miles Turner, I don't know what the hell happened. Apparently Al Jefferson was the play. What was the winning GPP score? I'm not sure. I didn't play in a GPP. And, this is part of the game. It sucks. I don't know how many times a dude has been ruled sick, right? Like Ryan Anderson. And absolutely balls out. It happened with Georgie Dang the other day. Orgy Dang, sorry, I was getting his name wrong. He was questionable. He had the flu, whatnot. He went out and scored like 40 points. So it happens so often that these guys, they're low owned, and Ryan Anderson was ironically enough, 1.2% owned, and put up that many points. So because he wasn't highly owned, he killed me. Ah, man. And then James Harden. Then there's James Harden. He had a really good first half. He had 30 points at halftime. James Harden had 30 points at halftime. He finished the game with 36.9. 6.9 points in the second half. Damn. That was rough. I don't know, man. I was really high on Lou Williams. I'm glad he returned. More than value. His price is going to keep going up in the coming days. Especially without, what's his name? D'Angelo Russell, who's got hurt tonight. Kevin Durant had a great game. 54 points. He hit value. Anthony Davis was hurt again. He played through his injury, but he got a quad bruise or something like that. So, yeah. Davis. I'm glad I didn't play him. He had like 40 points, so I guess he would have been better than Harden, and he was cheaper. Not by much, but $300. Rudy Gobert balled out. Good call by Mike on that one. I think he had like 50-something FanDuel points. Man. Rough night. But I can tell you that as soon as this video ends, I'm going to get right back into that research. Because I ain't having another one of these nights again, man. And here's the most frustrating part. And I've fallen in love with this little upside down emoji. iPhone users have had it forever. Android, at least my phone, just got it. And I've always laughed at it. I always thought it was hilarious, just kind of what it what it meant. or what it stood for and looked like, and I could just picture that image in my head. Trevor Booker was $5,400 tonight. He was in all my lineups. Really liked his matchup against the Pelicans. Would have been going up against Dante Cunningham. Didn't play. Late minute scratch. But at least we got the news before lock. I can't ask for more than that. I cannot ask for more than that, and thank you for that. But point being, I was high on Thad Young all day. All day high on Thad Young. I loved his matchup against the Lakers. And again, I went with that flu game thing. Yep. That damn emoji. I don't know why it gets me. I love it. And I was like, all right, dude, I'm going to pay down for Ryan Anderson. That $400, I'll leave it on the table, right? Ryan Anderson, he's going to ball out tonight. Great matchup, high-paced game. He's sick. He's going to ball out. I could have got Thad Young. I didn't have to pay up anyway. I didn't have to change anyone out. And I went with Ryan Anderson instead of Thad Young. If I have Thad Young, I cash guaranteed in these two lineups. I don't think I cash in this one. Solomon Hill, amazing game from him. 11 points. Just bad everywhere. Dave, that's funny. I don't literally on DraftKings all snowflakes. How do you That's rough. What's the word for 8? Not like you obviously have your trifecta. I don't know what the hell 8 is, but you had that in your lineup. At least it was consistent. Matt Barnes didn't do very well at all. He had like 7 points in the first half. Or 7 minutes in the first half. Here's the other thing, though. I will mention this because I just seen Dave's comment about Ryan Anderson. That's not going to scare me away from rostering guys that are sick. I will say it probably won't make me have full exposure to them like I did tonight. I lost my entire buy-in, which sucks, but what can I do? That's why bankroll management is key. But I still buy into that narrative because they're always low owned, and if they go off, they separate you. So, all right. Well, that's tonight. Let's look ahead at tomorrow. The slate is broken up into 3 slates as of right now. There is the early only slate, the all day slate, and the main slate. I'm sure the main slate will get divided more and more. But a very nice -1 from Russell. That hurts. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at that, but I guess it's just funny to me, man. I can't get too stressed out about this shit. I really can't. Like, I know money's involved and it sucks, but I feel like humor is the best way to get over this. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm not touching the all day at all. I've already locked in lineups and I've already put in the max I'm spending tomorrow. At least, I mean, if I win money on the early and I have enough for the late slate, then I'll do that. But I'm not gonna play the all day slate. I can already tell you, and I already have lineups made for the. Well, I'm actually only running one lineup. I've already put in my max for my bankroll tomorrow, and unless something happens, I'm not changing it. I really like the lineup, and it's the early only slate. It's actually the 2 games. When I saw the games being played tomorrow, I was like, those are the 2 games I want: Celtics, Trailblazers, and Washington, Detroit. I love Washington. I'll always play them, and I love that Boston-Portland game. That's the 2 games I wanted. That's what I'm going after. But I do have some really good plays that I like out of the main slate for you guys if you want to play it. And I kind of wish I could play them, but I'm not going to touch the main slate. I'm not doing it. Or I'm not touching the all day, I'm sorry. I'm not touching the main either. If I touch anything, it'll be if I win money from the early, then I'll put it in a late night. But we'll see. Well, I only play cash, so I no longer do the I haven't done a GPP in 3 days. I've just been doing cash, and I've been profiting. It just didn't happen tonight. So I understand the reasoning though. You don't obviously you don't get the good tourneys. Brooklyn at Charlotte. Brooklyn put up 143 points today. 143 points. That's crazy. On the road too. They were 1-18 on the road going into this game. 1-18. Now they're 2-18. But wow. Don't expect that tomorrow. Brooklyn, like I said, there was a reason they've only won one road game the entire year. They're not going to win in Charlotte tomorrow. And I rarely call this. It's going to be a blowout. They're both on back-to-back, so that factors in nothing. I don't know how in the world Kemba's price goes from 83 to 79 in a better matchup. Now, we know we love playing against Kyle Lowry as a point guard, but how in the hell does his price drop $400 playing Brooklyn? He put up 46 points in 3 quarters against Toronto. He has the potential to do the same exact thing against Brooklyn. So there's going to be, if you want to do the all-day slate or the main slate, this is a game I'm targeting right here. And primarily the Charlotte side and maybe one of the small forwards from Brooklyn. Or Sean Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick could be a sneaky play tomorrow. But let's focus on the point guard. Sorry. Kemba Walker, absolutely in play. Probably, yeah, I'm not going to say it yet because I'm not 100% sure, but Kemba's one of my favorite plays. He would be in my lineup. I can guarantee you that if I was playing it. I'm not looking at Brooklyn players. Pat Bev, not really looking at him tomorrow. Mike Conley's in play, not my favorite play. Jeff Teague against George Hill, okay. George Hill against Jeff Teague, I like a little more, but not really. I really don't want to touch that game. This Clipper and Denver game, I do want some of Austin Rivers. Actually, you know what? I want some of Raymond Felton. Give me Raymond Felton instead of Austin Rivers tomorrow. Raymond Felton got, I believe, 35 minutes last game. I don't see any reason for that to change. And going up against Denver, who's been awful against point guards. Let me see what his minutes were. 34 minutes, I'm sorry. Yeah, give me Raymond Felton. He can hit value tomorrow. He needs, 22 points? Yeah, he can hit that easy. He can go for 6 times value at 27. The other game I would really... So there's... On the main slate, there's 3 games I really like and that I would build on. Brooklyn, Charlotte, LA, Denver for your late night, and it just happens to be a late night. I love that game. And Milwaukee and Miami. Those are the 3 games I would build on, and I would literally fade all the other games and build my lineup on those games. All the plays I need are from those games. Milwaukee and Miami, I like. Point guards, nah. If I'm building from those games, I'm going Felton and Kemba. But I can see a Dragic play or a Brogdon play. I'm just really not high on them. This is an interesting game. Schroeder, I'm not really looking at with TJ McConnell. His price is continuously dropping, and rightfully so. He's regressed a ton. TJ McConnell against Dennis Schroeder, though, I do like. That could be an intriguing play and a sneaky play. I don't think he'll be high owned tomorrow. I like Eric Bledsoe against New York. I do. I don't like Derrick Rose against Eric Bledsoe at home. I'm just looking at some of the comments. Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from Derrick Rose tomorrow. I would roster Eric Bledsoe though. Now this Portland Boston game I mentioned I love. I can go both point guards here. However, I'm gonna go absolutely heavy on point guards in that early slate. Isaiah Thomas, John Wall. My 2 point guards. No, you're not changing my mind. I like Dame Lillard. I like his price. No, thank you. Isaiah Thomas, John Wall. Getting Portland on a back-to-back in Boston. Isaiah Thomas and John Wall. Not changing my mind there, but I can understand a Dame Lillard pick. San Antonio at Cleveland. Tony Parker is still questionable. Therefore, Murray does get consideration. Kyrie is bad against point guards. Cleveland's pretty bad overall. You can see there. Bottom 7 team in the league. So, Murray definitely gets some consideration if he starts tomorrow. And he's going to be at shooting guard, which still allows you. I kind of like that play as a punt play, to be honest with you. I can go 2 punts at shooting guard tomorrow if you're going to play the main slate with Bullock in there as well. We'll get to him. But Murray, as a shooting guard, allows you to have 3 point guards in your lineup tomorrow. So I'm all for that. Chicago, no thank you. Sack. Darren Collison, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell who's going to get the minutes and the points out of Collison and Lawson. So I'm cool off that. And then this Washington-Detroit game, the other part of the early-only slate, like I said, give me John Wall. Not even looking at Reggie Jackson. John Wall. Shooting guard. Tim Hardaway Jr. has been playing really, really well. If he can get an increase in minutes, if Tim Hardaway gets around 25 minutes, he can really put up some numbers. I'm not going to touch him tomorrow, though. Kilpatrick, I do like, again, if I'm looking at that game. Sorry, let me sort this by game. I prefer doing that. Kilpatrick in this Brooklyn Charlotte game, I like. And then Nick Batum also is in a great spot. So I can do if you're doing the main slate, Kemba, Batum, Kilpatrick, right? And then obviously my other point guard I was talking about would be Felton, maybe Rivers. But I kind of like Felton a little more. So Batum and Kilpatrick, I can do that right there. Houston at Memphis, James Harden. It doesn't really concern me who's going to guard him. I do worry a little bit. I have my work. Oh, I know Kilpatrick's been bad. Kilpatrick's been cold, but he has a really good matchup, and we talk about bad players and good matchups. So I'm not saying Kilpatrick's a great play. Well, not that I'm not. I think it's a good play. With his ability to score, if he can get going, Sean, kill your lineups. I don't know. He could bust hard on me. I'll admit it I'm not playing it, but if he does, I'll admit it. But he's in a good matchup. Charlotte's terrible against shooting guards. Terrible. So back to James Harden. I'm ambivalent about that play. The more and more I do this, the more I tend to want to stay away from guys over 10,000. I don't know. Or if I do it, it's one stud only, one stud and the rest balance. Like if I can offset a stud with a value play, the rest is balanced. I just don't feel like a stars and scrubs lineups works. Eric Gordon in play. Tony Allen is in play. I will be the first to tell you I was wrong on that pick last time. Tony Allen balled against the Rockets. I don't even know his numbers. I just remember being wrong and getting absolutely blasted for saying he wouldn't go off. So, Tony Allen, absolutely in play. Troy McDaniels didn't return to the game today. I believe he had a knee issue. So, Tony Allen in line for more minutes maybe. Not looking at Indiana shooting guards, not looking at Utah shooting guards, which is Alec Burks at this point. But Joe Ingles will be in play. Gary Harris is already ruled out, which makes Will Barton a nice play. He is a little pricey at 5,700. How are the main optimals? You know what? I didn't run any of the optimals, to be honest with you. So I take my own advice sometimes, and I say use the optimals as a tool. These are the lineups I threw out yesterday. They weren't optimals, but what I did is I took 3 games that I really wanted. Two games. I took the Houston Golden State game, and I took the LA Indiana game, and then I chose my other 3 plays. And I really liked Mike Conley tonight, so I locked him in. And I liked Ilyasova, so I locked him in. And then I just told Excel, out of the remaining options, give me one other guy that's outside of that slate. And so that's what it returned. Oh no, Aaron Gordon as well. I liked Aaron Gordon. So I didn't run any of the main optimals, and the reason I didn't do that is it was Anthony Davis in all of them. And playing cash games, I can't play Anthony Davis in a cash game. Absolutely not. And for reasons like this, he gets hurt too much. So JJ Redick, 100% in play tomorrow. I love JJ Redick. You know what? Screw my Kilpatrick pick. JJ Redick tomorrow against Denver's shooting guard defense. Yeah. Go JJ Redick. Go JJ Redick and Nick Batum. Lock that in. So we're going to do a full backcourt stack. Kemba, Batum, Felton or Rivers, and Redick. There you go. That's your backcourt stack for tomorrow. And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna stick with one and 2 games. No. But here's what I'm torn. Dion Waiters plays small forward. Milwaukee is awful against small forwards. I like Dion Waiters tomorrow. But he's a little. He's actually less expensive than Redick. Damn it! I don't know. Now I can't decide. And Giannis playing point guard. Miami's been awful against point guards. I would have to make a couple lineups there. I would have to do a Waiters on a Katumbо stack, and then but I feel like with Redick and Batum, you have to play Kemba and Rivers or Felton. So I would make a different lineup and play these 2 point guards, or I'm sorry, shooting guards, because I love these 2 as well. And I told you guys I love this game. I love Milwaukee, Miami. I love LA, Denver, and I love Brooklyn, Charlotte. That's the games I'm going to focus on. We talked about Hardaway. No thank you from any of the Knicks shooting guards. Courtney Lee, I can't trust. Devin Booker, though, absolutely. Devin Booker's going to have a really nice game tomorrow. Brandon Knight's price has dropped considerably. Gets some consideration. But Devin Booker on the road plus New York, great matchup, absolutely. CJ McCollum against Boston. No Avery Bradley. Boston has been awful. Awful against shooting guards without Avery Bradley. We're there right here. Oh, look at their last 5, 47.3. Avery Bradley's only played one of those 5 games, and he actually did well in that game. CJ McCollum is a lock for me tomorrow in the early slate, which is, like I said, what I was playing. CJ McCollum, I went Isaiah Thomas, John Wall, CJ McCollum, and then I built around that. CJ McCollum absolutely tomorrow. San Antonio and Cleveland. Kyle Korver gets a look because of how bad San Antonio's been. Manu Ginobili also gets another look from me. Called him last time. He had a great game. If no Tony Parker, I expect a little bit of an uptick from Manu. So look for that. I'm going to stay away from Chicago and Sacramento. And here's another shooting guard I like for the cheap is Reggie Bullock. Now, he's the other shooting guard I'm going to roster with CJ McCollum because I'm going to have to find value somewhere. And I like Reggie's minutes. He seems to be the guy that's going to get the minutes. I don't see any way KCP plays tomorrow. We know what the chalk is going to be now. Yeah, don't be surprised if that's chalky. Bradley Beal's in play, but I like Reggie Bullock more in this matchup. Half the price, and it allows me to get CJ McCollum along with Wall and Isaiah Thomas, and then I'll stack Washington at every other position tomorrow in that early slate. Small forward, we're still. Actually, no, I can go back to Bazemore tomorrow. I can. Let me sort it real quick. We'll get back to Bazemore. Brooklyn, Charlotte. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist absolutely in play tomorrow. Brooklyn's terrible against small forwards. Kidd-Gilchrist has a great matchup. Again, he may only play 3/4, but good matchup. There you see Brooklyn at the top. And then Levert definitely seems to be getting the minutes, man. He is producing. Bogdanovich did really well tonight as well. Yeah. Dame didn't get snubbed, but he wasn't a starter. There was no way Dame was going to start in the West. The reserves haven't been made yet, but Dame didn't stand a chance to start. No one. I still can't believe Curry got it, but whatever. I like Levert tomorrow if I'm going to go here. If I'm going to go back to that well, but I like Kid Gilchrist a lot. I can go back to Ariza tomorrow. Nobody's going to guard him on Memphis. Chandler Parsons is playing tomorrow. Revenge game narrative, possibly. Uh, but he only plays about 15 to 20 minutes, so keep that in mind. I'm not going to touch it, but feel free to. Paul George, we're not touching. Gordon Hayward, I'm not really looking at. Joe Ingles. Joe Ingles has been starting for Rodney Hood. 3,700 going up against Indiana's shooting guard defense. We talked about that. If Brewer starts, can you go there? Didn't think about that. Yes, I can actually. Because Ariza would shift to power forward again. Actually, I don't know. No, I can't. No. I think that they would put Montrezl Harrell at the. I don't know. I don't know what Houston will do. Will they put Capella at center against Gasol and then move Harrell to the 4? Or will they start Harrell at 5 and move Ariza to the 4? I don't know if Ariza against JaMychal Green is a good matchup, but Ryan Anderson has already been ruled out, so just got that notification right now. Damn. I don't know. I don't know what. I'd have to know the situation for that. Wilson Chandler's back tomorrow. Personal reasons. Cheaper than Gallo. Gallo's also a game time decision. Fire up Wilson Chandler tomorrow. Doesn't matter if he's going to play small forward or power forward. Matchups there either way. No thank you on anyone from LA. No thank you on anyone from Milwaukee at the small forward position. Remember, that's Dion Waiters. So that's where I'm going there. Michael Beasley's absolutely in play again. If I'm not mistaken, Michael Beasley was on Miami before. I don't know how much you can factor that in as a narrative, but I just like Michael Beasley in the matchup, and he's going to be going up against whether some Dion Waiters defense or whoever it is. It doesn't really matter. If he's getting the minutes, he can put up the numbers. JJ Barea got injured again tonight. Just got a notification for that. Not that that really changes much. Again, Kent Bazemore going up against Philly. I can see it. So watch out for that. Don't be surprised if he goes off and has a big game. Again, I'm fading that game, but don't be surprised. Covington, I'm not really looking at there. TJ Warren has a good matchup against Melo. I like that. Again, 4,600. He never played for Miami. I mean, yeah, but he was on the team. TJ Warren, like I said, definitely in play. Melo, I don't really like tomorrow. I don't know why. It seems like every time Melo has a Roto be like fire Ben Simmons. Every time Melo has a great game, he comes back and just duds the next game. So I don't know. Beasley had 4 fantasy points tonight. No way. Did he? Ouch, he really did. He only played 7 minutes. What the hell? Like I said, if he gets the minutes, man, he can ball. But I don't know what the hell is wrong with Jason Kidd. Damn it, man. I don't know why he doesn't give him more minutes. Anyways, Jay Crowder, Evan Turner, Mo Harkless. I'm not really looking at the small forwards there. I'm going to the Washington Detroit side for my small forwards. LeBron James absolutely in play. Kawhi Leonard is in play as well. LeBron hasn't been a great defender against small forwards. You see their DVP right here. 45.7 in the last 5. Still better than Baker's -2. He got kidded. Evan Turner revenge game. I don't know how much of a revenge game it is. I mean, he had that tonight as well. He got drafted by Philadelphia. But I don't know how much of a revenge game it is for him in Boston. I guess I can see it. I'm still not going to roster him. I don't trust each of those guys' minutes. But LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, I like that. Jimmy Butler, he's going to have a rebound game tomorrow night. Don't worry about that at all. Don't worry about that, his game today at all. He has a great matchup against Sacramento tomorrow. Again, Garrett Temple stepped in and started. So there's no concerns there. Jimmy Butler's a good play tomorrow. And then I like Marcus Morris and Otto Porter going up against each other. And remember, this is a brother game. Both Morris twins are playing, and I think there's a little extra motivation there. Marcus Morris is going to have a nice game. His usage also goes up a ton without KCP, so Jimmy B price is 9,800, but I can do. I'm just looking at some of the comments. Crowder and Porter. I'd rather go Morris. Morris, like I said, without KCP, Morris's usage goes up a ton. His minutes have increased. I just think there's a lot to like there. And his price at 5,100. Again, I'm paying fully up at point guard tomorrow. The two highest guys at Wall and Isaiah Thomas. I love Wall in the early slate. Absolutely love Wall. Power forward, Millsap is in a good matchup against Ilyasova. That's nothing to be concerned with there. Again, both teams on a back-to-back, so that doesn't concern me. Damn it, I gotta remember to do this shit. Frank the Tank tomorrow. Watch for Frank the Tank. Marvin Williams is in a good matchup as well. I'm gonna go Frank the Tank. I think for one of two reasons. He's gonna get his minutes regardless, and if it ends up being a blowout, which I think it will be, then he's going to get the run. Marvin Williams will sit. So, Frank Kaminsky, great matchup. Nobody on Brooklyn's going to pose a threat there. And then on the other side, I like Trevor Booker. Trevor Booker's rested, no back-to-back for him. Going up against Marvin Williams' defense I'm not really concerned with that. So, I can see a game stack there at power forward. Ryan Anderson, as we mentioned, is already ruled out, so not even in consideration. Zach Randolph is in consideration. I do believe he had a great game against Houston last time. Let me double check, just so I have my numbers correct. Against Houston, 35 points. So definitely that's over five. That's about 5.5 times value at his current price. So what the hell happened here? This needs to go there. And that needs to go there. There we go. Much better. What the hell is going on here? Hold on. Okay. I'll have to mess with that. It didn't copy over correctly. Anyways, regardless. Indiana, Utah, no thank you at the power forwards there. Kenneth Fareed I like against LA if Darrell Arthur is out again. Jokic will play center, so no concerns there. Maurice Spates, I'm not really looking at. James Johnson is in a good matchup against Milwaukee. I like that. I love Jabari Parker as well. Again, I talked about I like stacking this game. I mentioned Paul Millsap already. Ilyasova, I'm not as high on tomorrow, but he had a great game tonight. 5.5 times value from him. Embiid is out tomorrow. I don't think that'll increase Noel's minutes. I think the guy that you're going to want to look at is Okafor to get the most from that. Hold on. Would you play your early slate guys in Maine? Absolutely. I love the Boston game and I love the Washington game. So if you want to play those in the Maine, absolutely. Talking about Jokic tomorrow, it's really, really hard to fade him right now. Dude hasn't had under a 45-point game in his last 4 games, so I don't know if you can fade Jokic. He's hot. He does have a tougher matchup against DeAndre Jordan, but the dude is hot, and he hasn't gotten in foul trouble. So, I don't know. Something to keep an eye on for sure. I like Amir Johnson against Portland. I like Kristaps if he gets his full allotment of minutes, which I don't think there's any indication he will not. I haven't seen anything saying he's not going to get his full minutes. How many did he play last game? Just for reference, he had 29 minutes last game, so I don't think there's any reason to expect he doesn't get his full minutes. Marquise Chris, potential punt play, especially if New York goes with that small ball lineup and that puts Melo at the 4. So, potential good game from Chris. Again, I like Amir Johnson, and I also like Al-Farouq Aminu against Boston rebounding. As long as they decide to start him tomorrow. I don't know why they didn't start tonight. That kind of sucked. It was after lock, but whatever. Amir Johnson's in a good matchup. Not a great player, but in a good matchup. Marquise Chris did push KP hard, but I don't think KP goes up against Marquise. He's going to go up against Tyson Chandler. Oh, I'm sorry. You can't play the early in the main. I'm talking about the all day slate. I'm sorry. I didn't mean the main. I meant all day. Sorry. San Antonio and Cleveland. I don't know if I can roster LaMarcus Aldridge tomorrow, and I don't. Let me see what the latest news on Kevin Love is. Kevin Love is still a game time decision, nothing definitive. Again, I kind of like that narrative. I guarantee you he's going to be low owned because he's still a game time decision. If Kevin Love plays tomorrow, I think he should get some consideration. I know his price is it's 7,600. It's not really not. It's only not even really higher than Aldridge, but he's going to be low owned and he has potential to go up to ball out. So, again, we go back to the Sacramento-Chicago game. I'm not really looking at anything there. I like Tobias Harris against Washington, and I also like Markieff Morris against Detroit. I mentioned the Morris brothers twins. I like that narrative in that matchup, so look for that. Caleb will ball till his back goes out. I agree with you, Ryan. Playing the all-day slate is extremely risky. That's why I'm not doing it. I am breaking down slates slate by slate now. Find one favorite value play from each position. Okay, I'll do that at the end of the show. I'll bring up my projections. Dwight Howard's in a great position tomorrow. Jahlil Okafor defense is no defense, so look for that. Brooke Lopez also in an amazing matchup at Brooklyn and Charlotte. Cody Zeller, again, not very good defense. Al Horford against Portland, I like. I like Mason Plumlee against Boston. Cody Zeller is in the Lopez Law tomorrow if Brooke plays. Again, be wary of... be very wary of him sitting on a back-to-back. But Cody Zeller is absolutely in play. Not looking at Tristan Thompson, not looking at Robin Lopez, not looking at Nurkic. I like Drummond, especially in the early slate. He's my center of choice against Washington. Capella, not really. Going up against Marc Gasol. Miles Turner, Al Jefferson, not really. DeAndre Jordan, absolutely, against Jokic. He's in a great position without anybody. Kevin Love will get hurt on the tip-off. I agree with you, Vikings fan. MKG is a good play tomorrow. Gasol I like. I believe he balled out last time against Houston as well. Let me see his numbers. Against Houston, oh, never mind. He only had 28 points. Game might be too fast-paced for him. I don't know. It's an interesting one. No thank you on Whiteside. Greg Monroe, if he gets the minutes, is a good play. Henson could be a good punt play at center. Again, it's just hard to predict who's going to get the playing time for Milwaukee, though. So that might be his time where Hassan Law does not come into play. Kyle O'Quinn, Joakim Noah, I don't think is playing again. And for Hernan Gomez, again, I can't really go with that. I do think Wilson Chandler is a really good play. I agree with you, Ryan. I think Houston can have a really nice bounce back game. I'm ambivalent about James Harden, but he could definitely ball out. Jahlil Okafor, I'm not going to say he's going to ball out. I'm not going to say he's even going to have a good game, but he should at least get the minutes. Tyson Chandler, I think, is probably my favorite main slate center. Going up against Kristaps Porzingis. Tyson Chandler in New York, going back to New York. Everything's lining up for him to have a great game. He's been hot. So Tyson Chandler's hands down my favorite main play center. And then I love Boogie tomorrow. And I love Rudy Gobert as well. So, and then Gortat is another good play as well. But if I'm looking main slate, Tyson Chandler, Boogie, and then Gobert. Does Houston rest anyone being a back-to-back? I don't think so. Ryan Anderson's already out. I don't see them resting a James Harden. Maybe a Capella. Maybe, but I don't think so. If you guys are looking for my favorite value play at center tomorrow, I think it's Kelly Olynyk at 4,100. I think Kelly should get his minutes tomorrow, and if he does, then he should have a really nice game. If we're looking at power forward, who's my favorite value play? Frank Kaminsky, hands down. I don't even have to scroll down to know that. Frank Kaminsky is my favorite power forward value play tomorrow, but Marquise Chris gets some consideration as well. At small forward, I guess you can't consider Michael Kidd-Gilchrist a value play, but he's one of my favorites tomorrow. Joe Ingles, I guess you could say is a good value play. TJ Warren is in line for a good value play. Again, Marcus Morris, 5,100. I guess you can't really use that as a value play. But MKG is definitely my favorite play. Karis LeVert is a good play as well, in line for some minutes. At shooting guard, where am I looking at here for value? Kilpatrick gets a consideration. Actually, no, JJ Redick. Under 5,000, JJ Redick at 4,700. Yeah. JJ Redick's that value play at shooting guard, and I think he'll be high owned. But I think you have to roster him against Denver. Manu put up 30 points against Denver, so We've seen that. Bullock is also a great consideration. If you're going to play the early only slate, I think Bullock has to be in your lineup. And then at point guard, oh, Murray as well for San Antonio if he plays. Point guard value. Where are we looking at point guard value? Raymond Felton is under 5,000. I think you have to look there. I think that's it. In terms of value tomorrow, I don't really like Collison. I don't really like Lawson. I don't buy the Rondo revenge game. Not in Chicago. Yeah, under 5,000, Felton's the only guy I'm playing tomorrow. So, Redick does not play as well when Paul is out. I just think the matchup is way too good. I mean, we've seen what shooting guards do against Boston or Denver defense, and without Gary Harris, who's clearly the better defender of the two, and JJ Redick lit up the Nuggets last time. And granted, Paul was there, but let me see, where was that game? 35 points against the Nuggets last time he played them. 26 minutes, 27 points. So the matchup's way too good for me to pass up for JJ Redick. So that's that. As far as my player pool, let me kind of show you what I have here. And again, I'm going to show you this on the video for the rest of the month and then after that. But I listed my 5 favorite point guards tomorrow. Kemba, Isaiah Thomas, John Wall, those are the guys you got to pay up for. Conley's in consideration as well. And then Raymond Felton. I like Raymond Felton. If we're talking about shooting guards, Reggie Bullock I like. I mentioned him. I need to add J.J. Redick to this. Forgot to add J.J. Redick. But J.J. Redick, Batum, Waiters, McCollum, Barton. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I'm going to replace Redick with Barton. Where's he at right there? I like Redick as a better play for $1,000 less. There you go. And then Joe Ingles. So, Joe Ingles. He plays shooting guard, but he's listed as small forward. Wall, IT2, Kemba, 2 or 3. I'm going Wall and IT2. I like Bledsoe, but so you're doing the Wall, IT2, CJ, and Kemba, Batum, JJ Felton. Which one stud in the main slate are you paying up for? In the main slate, so that'll be Brooklyn, Charlotte. In the main slate, I honestly would pay up for Boogie at Chicago. Boogie, yeah. Bledsoe put up 51 against the Knicks. Yeah, I think Bledsoe's a good play. Again, this is my 5 favorite plays. These aren't. I'm not. If you don't see a guy here, I'm not saying don't play him. I'm just telling you my 5 favorite guys that I think return value. CJ McCollum is probably my favorite shooting guard tomorrow, and then Nick Batum. At small forward, mentioned Joe Ingles, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Wilson Chandler, and actually, you know what? I'm going to switch Carmelo out now that I thought about that a little more. I actually... Which one do I like more? I think I like Kawhi more. Actually, no, Jimmy. Did I put Jimmy Butler in there? I don't think I did. Yeah, I gotta go Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler instead of Melo for sure. See, as I talk about this out loud, oh shit, I completely forgot to mention David Lee. David Lee absolutely is in play. I have him in right here in the player pool. I like David Lee without Gasol tomorrow. He should see about 25 to 30 minutes. Gasol's definitely not playing. So David Lee, 100% is in play. He's a projection of 28 points. That's really, really nice. Again, power forward. I think you have to pay up at point guard tomorrow, I think, if you want to win. I think that everywhere else has too much value. Me personally, I'm going to pay up at point guard and center. And I did that in the early slate as well. I went Wall, IT2, and Drummond. And I think on the main slate, you can do the same thing. You can go Kemba, although I would go Felton. Kemba Felton. But you can go Kemba Bledsoe. And then I think you pay up for Boogie at center. I think Boogie's the best main slate center on the slate. DeAndre Jordan gets consideration as well, but I like Boogie a little more without Rudy Gay. So power forwards, Kaminsky, Lee, Booker, James Johnson, and Jabari Parker. I love Kaminsky. I love Booker. I like David Lee as well. And then at center, like I said, these guys. But I'm going to ride with DeMarcus Cousins tomorrow if I'm playing the main slate. Don't play Dedmon. Definitely don't play Dedmon. I don't think he gets enough minutes. David Lee has clearly been the beneficiary every time Pau Gasol is out. And then Al Horford in the early slate. Al Horford in the early slate definitely gets consideration. I like Drummond more, though. I like Drummond against Washington a little more than Al Horford. But I can definitely see. Center for all day, Boogie. If you have to go all day, go Boogie. Again, if Boogie is an option on that slate, I think you have to go Boogie. So I'm going to run some optimal lineups, and then I'll shoot those out to you guys. Again, I only have right now the early only all day in main. And I already know we do not do the triple threat anymore. Out of respect to George, I wanted to rid everything that we developed together. And it's just out of, like I said, out of respect to him, I don't want to carry on something that he helped build. There's no bad blood between us, so I don't want to create any. But we are working on a new system that'll still include 3 players. But what it'll be is a must-play, a lock, or I'm sorry, a must-play, a fade, and a value play. So we're going to look at that. So someone you absolutely have to have, someone you absolutely shouldn't play, and a value guy you should have. So that's where we're looking with that. So that's in the works. Little housekeeping work as always. Facebook business page. Hey, I got it right first time. That way, Fantasy Phenom, make sure you're on that. Mike will do pre-lock shows when he can on there. All question and answer and injury news. Our Twitter, I'm always tweeting any news. 8 guaranteed for DraftKings. Any injury news, any show news, I post on Twitter. Facebook group, that is the discussion group. Absolutely need to get in there. A lot of good heads in there, a lot of good discussion. The email, if you have any questions. My PayPal right now. Like I said, still working on getting the business one set up. And then finally, there are 11 days left to get on this list. If you're interested in these sheets, again, it has projections, optimal lineups, all that, and then it has its own optimizer. Also, I have come up with a workaround. So I know some of you guys, and I'm not going to say it'll work for Max yet, or not all of them at least. Some of you guys are able to run the top optimal lineup out of the sheet I send out, but not the top 3 and the top 5. I've come up with a workaround. It's a little tedious. It requires you to run each lineup one at a time, but I give you a button for it so you don't have to do anything. You literally, as the lineup posts, you just click the next button and then third lineup. And you obviously have to go in sequential order, otherwise it'll mess up. But it'll allow you to produce up to 5 lines if you want, or you can stop at 3 or stop at 2 or stop at 4, whatever you want to do. But I produced a workaround to at least fix that. I'm hoping it works. FanDuel definitely is not changing their lock system. They've already made that clear. It sucks, but part of the game. That's just, again, another reason why I'm not playing the all-day slates. I'm not playing the main slates. These injury news, the injuries are way too frequent. So it's not worth it to me. I'm not risking my money. FanDuel is not going to give you back your money. So just don't play the all day. Don't play the main slates. Just play the slates that you can guarantee, or at least have more control over the lineups. So Conley or Irving? Give me Conley. Give me Conley tomorrow. But yeah, so again, link for these sheets are in the description. Again, starting February, there will be a new group that I send out, and I'll take care of all that housekeeping. For you guys that are currently on the list, it'll be $250 a month, super cheap. And then there'll be a different price for newcomers. And am I missing anything? Am I missing anything? I know I'm missing something. What is it? Oh, the website we hope to get up hopefully within that first month. So it'll be a little tedious process, as I mentioned, with the payment. It'll have to be through PayPal right now. I can't accept credit cards. But I will come up with hopefully once the website is built, I can almost guarantee you that it'll be a recurring option. You can pay with credit card, you can do anything. But as of right now, it'll be a manual tracker, and you're going to have to bear with me for the first couple days because it'll be me manually adding everyone to the new list. And so that'll be a challenge in itself, but I'll make sure I take care of it. I'll take care of you guys. You guys help me. And again, all these is literally just going to the website costs and the business costs. That's where all the money's going to go. So I don't expect to make any profit in the first year of doing this, so it's good. So thank you guys again for your help and for your support. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. I appreciate it all, guys. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful night. I will get these sheets sent out to you shortly.